Hey everyone, Kyber Builds here, and today is New Year's Eve, which means that there's less than one day until 2021, until 2020 is over. I'm excited to see it go. It wasn't the best year, I must admit here. I'm sure a lot of people can agree, but I don't think it was the worst. I think it could have been worse, but for me, I got it off easy, but because really, for me, it was nice because I got to finally join the LEGO community, and there's a lot of great people in the community, and they really helped me to push forward, become a better person, and become a better at making YouTube videos, at Instagram posts and everything. So you all know who you are, these specific people who really helped me out this year, and yeah, just really thank you. But for this video, I'm going to take a look at the top 20 minifigures of 2020. These are my personal picks, so your list may differ from mine here. This isn't like a factual list or anything. These are just my thoughts and opinions, so keep that in mind. Feel free to disagree, but don't make any hate in the comment section or anything below. But you are free to share your own opinions in there if you want. So anyways, let's start off with number 20. So here at number 20, we have the Harbinger from LEGO Hidden Side. Hidden Side? What? Why is he choosing one from Hidden Side? Now, this minifigure exceeds so much. It's just a fantastic minifigure here for a couple of reasons. One, it's just a really overall cool looking minifigure. It looks very ghostly and really spooky and just really cool. I love his face right there with the deep sort of eye sockets there. It looks really cool and really freaky. I think that's really cool. And also the shoulder pad there in black is really nice. But really, it's the leg attachment piece here that really makes this minifigure so awesome. That sort of like cloud piece that he's standing on is just so cool. You can use that for Death Eaters from Harry Potter and tons of other stuff. You can get it in different colors like we've seen in 2021. We're getting it in green for Mysterio, and I'm so glad to see this piece that's going to be reused now. It's just so fantastic to see. And his torso and leg printing's okay, I guess. I'm not a big Hidden Side fan, so I don't know much about this character or anything, but I must say this minifigure is really cool. At number 19, we have Elmo from the LEGO Sesame Street set, and that's a really cool set. I have not gotten it yet. I've been tempted a few times, but I think I'm going to pass on it for the most part. But this minifigure here is really cool. Elmo, that exclusive new mold for the head there, looks fantastic. I think that's what really makes this figure cool. Otherwise, it's just a plain red minifigure, but really just a fantastic minifigure with that head mold there. It's really cool because Elmo's sort of one of the main icons of Sesame Street, at least it is to me. I remember really liking Elmo when I was a kid. He was like the main star of the show for me, but yeah. At number 18, we have Gilderoy Lockhart from the LEGO Harry Potter Diagon Alley set. Probably one of the best LEGO sets of all time now. That set is just absolutely wonderful. So amazing. But this figure here is exclusive to the set, and it's something that made a couple people pick it up here, and it's just a really cool figure. We've finally got Gilderoy Lockhart with these new Harry Potter sets. I'm surprised we didn't get him earlier with like the Great Hall or something, but it's great to finally have him here. He is a really cool minifigure with that face print there, and the torso print's also nice. Would it be nice to get a little bit more printing, maybe on his legs and some stuff, but the hairpiece is also a great choice for that hair. I think that's probably the best thing that they could have chosen for this minifigure, and overall it's just really cool. At number 17, we have Black Widow from some of the Marvel sets that came out this year. And she even came out in a LEGO minifigure pack, which is just really cool to see her in that really cheap set that you can really easily get her in. Because this figure is really cool, mainly because of one thing, and that's the arm printing. The arm printing really sells this figure for me, because those arms are so useful for so many things, and they really look cool on this minifigure. The minifigure's also got great leg printing here, and torso printing. But the only thing that I really have to nag is the hairpiece. Not the best choice. At number 16 spot, we have Spider-Ham from the Venomosaurus set, a set that I am not the biggest fan of. I don't know. I think that if the Venom mech is still on shelves and stuff, like the big one from 2019, I think that this one wasn't really necessary. But it did come with this amazing minifigure here with Spider-Ham. This figure is absolutely wonderful, mainly because he's just driven straight out of Into the Spider-Verse, which is one of my favorite movies of all time now. And it's just really cool to see that new head mold there. Just like Elmo, he's got a new head mold here, which really makes the figure shine as the main draw for the figure. And the printing on it also just looks fantastic with the webbing and everything. Also, great torso print as well. Mid-legs would have been the best choice for this figure, but I guess short legs are alright. But overall, just a fantastic minifigure. At number 15 is Pink Zane from the Gamers Market that came out earlier in, I believe, January or February this year for LEGO Ninjago, and that set's just a great set in general. I recommend everyone pick that set up, but the real reason I picked it up was for this minifigure. This minifigure is so great to finally have because this figure is featured in Season 1 of Ninjago, and it's, what, 9 or 10 years later, we finally get this minifigure here, which is really cool. Reference to a scene in one episode that's just really cool when Zane's clothes are turned pink by Lloyd, and he had to be pink for the rest of the episode. That was really nice. If you know me, you know I'm not a fan of Ninjago, but I am a fan of the first 3 seasons of Ninjago, and this counts as one of those 3 seasons here with being in Season 1, so this minifigure made it to the list. Number 14, we have Captain Marvel, which the only real draw for this minifigure for me is the helmet piece. That new mold is just fantastic. You can put stuff at the top of it, like the little blonde mohawk that she has there. You can also put like a feather or something in there, a fire piece, I don't know, whatever you want. It fits one of those really small sort of pins. You can put stuff in like the flame pieces. But this figure is overall really cool. The only real downside with this figure that I feel is that she comes in the worst sets. She comes in the Helicarrier and the 4+ Juniors, or whatever you want to call it, Avengers Tower. Those are probably the weaker Marvel sets that I really don't want to buy, and so I'm upset that she's in the worst sets there. But that's just my opinion, so take that with a grain of salt, I guess, but yeah. Number 13, we have another Sesame Street minifigure, and this is Big Bird. Much better than Elmo. I think that they really took a jump here with the new head mold there that actually attaches onto the front of the torso and the back of the minifigure, which is just really cool to see that piece. I think that piece really makes this minifigure cool because it makes Big Bird look taller than all the other minifigures in the set, besides the fact that Big Bird's one of the only ones that has the normal size minifigure legs, but also the chicken wing pieces on the sides there that came in the Chicken Man minifigure from one of the minifigure series there is also just a great reuse for those pieces there in yellow. I'm not sure if they come in yellow before. I'm pretty sure they have with a minifigure from some sort of promotion or something. I don't know. Overall, a fantastic minifigure. At number 12, we have our first of many Star Wars figures on the list here, and this is the Holiday or Jolly Darth Vader from the 2020 Star Wars Advent Calendar. Probably my favorite Star Wars Advent Calendar that LEGO's ever made, or just LEGO Advent Calendar in general. But this figure is what the real draw of the set was, because of that exclusive torso piece that looks so fantastic with the Death Star sort of embedded onto it there, with the holiday sweater sort of feel. It's just really cool. And I think that piece is just probably the best piece in the set and the best minifigure in the set, I think, besides the Stormtrooper. But that's a story for another time. I've already reviewed that set, so you can check out the review if you really want. But this figure just really nailed it in the coffin here. The new legs for Darth Vader on this piece, on this figure here, is also just a great use, because we don't know how to get the Bespin Duel, which is a really difficult set to get, or the Death Star Final Duel to get those leg pieces there. Number 11, we have a figure from the DC CMF, or minifigure series, and this is the Flash, or Jay Garrick. And I actually just started watching the Flash this year, and I finished all 6 seasons now, the CW show. And what a great show! I really enjoyed it. It really took a downside turn later on, but really the first 2 seasons, I think, were just absolute gold. And Jay Garrick was a great character in the show, and it's great to see him in a minifigure form here. He's got great, amazing leg printing there with those little gold features on the sides of the legs there. I'm not entirely sure what those are called. Wings, I guess you could call them. Also, the legs just overall have great printing, and they're also dual molded. And his hat or helmet is just a fantastic mold. I do think it's a little bit too big. It should have been a little bit smaller, a little bit thinner, but I'm not going to complain too much about it. It's just really cool. And also the lightning that attaches onto his back was also a great addition, and his face print really looks like the character here. It really looks like Jay Garrick. And so yeah, overall just a fantastic minifigure here. At number 10, we have Spider-Man Noir from one of the weaker Spider-Man sets that a lot of people bought just for this figure here. It came with the Venom Mech, and I can't remember the exact name, but it was a Spider Jet and Venom Mech. This figure made a lot of people buy that set, and it might make me buy it too, I'm not gonna lie, because this figure's so cool. Just like Spider-Man, he's from Into the Spider-Verse, one of the best movies in my opinion, and he's a really cool minifigure. His black hat looks amazing. His jacket sort of detailing is just fantastic, and I really want to get all the figures in Spider-Verse, and this is probably at the top of my list right now, since I now own Miles Morales and Spider-Man. Now I gotta get all the others here, so this is one of them. Here at number 9 is a minifigure from the Harry Potter Collectible Minifigures Series 2. And this is Dumbledore, a great minifigure because he got a new mold for his hat attached to his hair there, as well as an exclusive I say exclusive twice there, I don't know why I said that, but Fox the Phoenix here, which is not brick built, which is just fantastic to finally see. And this figure, what really drives it for me, is the torso and the leg dress piece there, that printing, because you know what that reminds me of? Reminds me of Palpatine from Revenge of the Sith. And I want to make a custom Palpatine minifigure with this minifigure, but this minifigure on its own is also great, but I think the reason it's so high up here is because it just really reminds me of Palpatine, and it just the printing is just overall really nice here. But also the beard there in white also just looks fantastic, and I'm really happy to see that there. And overall, a fantastic minifigure. Number 8, we're going to continue on with the Star Wars minifigures. Here is General Veers from the AT-AT that came out in the summer. One of my favorite sets that I own, and I actually own this minifigure. I'm so glad to have it here. Just a fantastic minifigure because of the helmet piece, the new mold in that color. Looks so awesome with the printed goggles on top. Oh, it's so perfect for that minifigure. I think this minifigure is honestly perfect for what's supposed to be here. For General Veers, this is just perfect. He doesn't need leg printing. He doesn't need arm printing. He doesn't. The printing on the torso works. The head printing looks fantastic. And just the helmet. Oh, the helmet just is really awesome here. But I think also the torso piece, after watching The Mandalorian Season 2, specifically the second last episode, I had to get this figure. I can't pass it up here. That torso piece is what really drove me for that. But also just the helmet was just really the big draw for this figure here. Number 7, we have the Imperial Spy from the UCS Mos Eisley Cantina here. This figure, a lot of people were super excited to see because we finally got this figure in Lego form. We've never seen it in Lego before, but we had seen it in video games like Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. We'd seen it before and we were like, oh, that would be so cool if they made that in Lego. And here it is, they finally made it, and I must say, the new hood piece, I've never been so in love with it. This works perfectly for this figure. The torso printing is really nice, but really it's the face sort of attachment there that attaches to the bottom of the neck. For the minifigure, that's what really drives this minifigure to this place on it that it is on the list here, because it really makes it look so fantastic here. Also underneath, I'm pretty sure it's just a gunmetal gray head, which is fine. He didn't need face printing because he's got this attachment here, but the only real deal I have, he kind of did need leg printing, and especially in the UCS set, there should have been leg printing on this figure, but there isn't, which is just really disappointing to see. But that's really the only nitpick I have for this figure here. Everything else is just perfect. At number 6, we have Darth Maul from the Lego Star Wars Character Encyclopedia book that came out earlier on this year. A very mediocre book that they did a lot of weird things with that book. But this figure here, there was actually a lot of production errors with it because the eyes kept getting misaligned or printed oddly or offset or anything with the figure here. So a lot of people just ended up getting bad versions of the figure, which is really disappointing to see Lego have that bad quality control with a minifigure that this good. It was really upsetting. But this figure just on its own is just so amazing, especially with Clone Wars Season 7 that came out this year. This came out around the same time, I believe, and it looks so much like the Clone Wars Season 7 Maul. It looks so fantastic. The only deal I have is that it's the solo version with the little necklace piece on him, which I wish if you just remove that, boom, you get Season 7 Maul. But I guess they didn't want to make anything Clone Wars related that early on in the year because Clone Wars was just coming out. They didn't want to do anything regarding spoilers in case that figure got leaked a long time ago or anything. But overall, really happy with this figure here. Also, the gunmetal gray legs work so well for him with his robotic legs here. But yeah, just fantastic minifigure. At number 5, we actually have a baby figure, and this is Baby Yoda / the child / Grogu. And this guy is so cute. He's so adorable. He's so teeny tiny. And it's so great to actually see him because when we saw the images with the Razor Crest, we're like, oh my gosh, that's Baby Yoda. And now we actually have his name, Grogu, which I think is a great name. And really, this figure is just so cool because it's got the exclusive head for this figure. That's in the rubber piece there in the green with the ears sticking out. His eyes are so big and he looks so adorable. He's so tiny. It's perfect. Oh, the only deal is that the body is a little bit misshapen. It's a little bit big in the back. The baby piece wasn't the best thing for him. I think a new mold with like a wrappings around him or whatever, like a rope or whatever would probably be the best thing for him. But I'm totally okay with taking it as a baby figure. I think that this just looks fantastic. And number 4, we have the 501st Clone Trooper from the 501st Battle Pack of set that was highly anticipated this year and sold out like that. So fast, it was just sold out. It was gone. And it's so difficult to get it. I actually, the other day, I'm probably not going to go on about this for too long, but I almost had one, but someone took it. It was the last one in stock, and I'm pretty upset about it. But that's a story for another time, and I'll tell on Instagram at some point on a live stream or YouTube live stream, so check those out. But this figure here just looks fantastic, especially with the new clone face underneath the helmet that looks like Tamora Morrison. It's just so great. And also just the helmet detailing here, it just looks so great with the new clone style. This is because we've had a Clone Wars style clone helmet. We've got a realistic episode 3 clone style, but this is just meets in the middle, and it really works for this figure here. And also the torso print looks great, and the leg print looks great. Only deal is, a lot of people aren't happy with the white arms because they're too white, and people are like, oh, the red and the blue arms because the blue arms are too blue. Why didn't we get dual molded arms, or even just arms with a little blue dot at the top? Even that would just work. It would just work with a little shoulder pad printing or something. Come on, Lego. We're so close. We're on the verge of greatness. We're this close. We're so close to getting it perfect. But the toe printing, I think, kind of makes up for that, I bet. Because toe printing is something that's nice to see on figures here, and it looks great on this one with the boots and whatnot. For number 3, you have a figure that's super duper similar to the 501st Trooper, and it's the 332nd Clone Trooper from the Armored Assault Tank set. Probably one of my favorite sets of all time. It's actually my second favorite, coming down from Ninjago City. Although the Ninjago City Gardens might make me push that down to number 3, perhaps. But this figure is identical to the 501st Clone Trooper, the head, torso, and legs. But the helmet is what made me decide to put this above that figure, because the 332nd Clone Trooper is just so gorgeous. Because Clone Wars Season 7, come on, Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character. It's Ahsoka's Clone Trooper. Come on, I gotta put it this high. I love it so much. So far I have 3 in my collection, but I want to have a lot more later on down the road. I want to get a lot of AATs. So what a beautiful minifigure. One of my all-time favorite minifigures of all time. I think I said all time like 3 times in that sentence. I apologize. For number 2, here we have Darth Vader from 2 sets this year. One was an exclusive set that was only online for a limited amount of time, and it was really upsetting. But it was from the Best Bin Duel set, that set being the one that I didn't get to manage to get. But the Death Star Final Duel remake was just a great set to see. And this figure really drew a lot of people into that set, because you want to know why? Arm printing. That's why. Arm printing on Vader just looks so fantastic. He looks so good. It's perfect. I think it's honestly perfect. This figure is so close to perfect. Like, the cape looks great. The new leg printing is fantastic. The helmet works. Torso printing works. The head underneath works. Only thing that could make it any better is red contacts with a dual molded helmet to make him different from like Rogue One and Rebels and whatnot, whatever, with the red contacts, and maybe a waist cloak to put around his between his legs and his torso. Maybe put that on. I don't know. You can probably do it yourself. But also maybe toe printing would be nice. But I'm gonna stop complaining, because other than that, that's literally it. That's all I can really think of for this figure, because this is just such a great minifigure. It's pretty perfect, if you ask me. And I'm really excited to get my hands on this at some point once I get that Lego set. And before we get to the number 1 spot, I have a couple honorable mentions here. And this is Harry, Ron, and Hermione from the Harry Potter Series 2 collectible minifigure series. And I kind of had to include these somewhere in the list, so I put them as an honorable mention here. These weren't honorable mentions for the number 1, but just to make it onto the list in general, because these figures are really cool for pure customization, because Harry has got a great torso piece for the basic hoodie that you could use for a lot of people, and also the jeans there with the toes being black. It just looks fantastic. With Ron, the legs I use for my sig fig, because they're great sweatpants or jeans or whatever you want to call them. They look like sweatpants to me, but those are just great printing for the legs there. And he's also got arm printing and everything. Hermione looks great with her boots, her dual molded legs and whatnot. And she's also got a fantastic face print. These figures are really great for pure customization and just customizing your own Lego minifigures in your collection, which are why they're really on this list here. But some other things, some other minifigures that are honorable mentions are all the Knights of Ren figures from this year. I think we got 4. We got 1 in the Pote's TIE Fighter, we got 1 in the Sith TIE Dagger, and we got 2 in the Knights of Ren Transport Shuttle, which I'm not the biggest fan of the Knights of Ren in general, because they really mucked it up with the Rise of Skywalker. I'm not gonna lie. They didn't use them for anything, So there's no real sentimental value to them or anything like that for me personally. But I will admit that these minifigures look pretty cool, even especially with the exclusive helmet molds and everything. They look pretty awesome. But for the number one spot on the list here, I think most of you know what this is going to be. This is not only the best year minifigure of 2020. Did I say the best year? I very much take that back. This is not the best year. The best minifigure of the year. But this is actually my favorite minifigure of all time. And this is Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars Season 7 that came in the Armored Assault Tank in the Summer Wave of LEGO Star Wars. Oh my goodness, this figure is so amazing. So gorgeous with her two blue lightsabers. Her leg printing is fantastic. It looks just like her Season 7 appearance, as well as the torso print, and her face print is just so amazing because it's not in the stupid bug eye style that Clone Wars minifigures have had in the past. It's a regular Ahsoka Tano minifigure head. It's got two expressions, which is great to see, and the Lego piece is also fantastic. I know a lot of people complaining because it's a little bit too big, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. This thing looks great. It's a little bit inaccurate, and it would be nice to see a new mold introduced, but this piece works. It works, okay? Alright, shut up and take my money. It works. Overall, just a fantastic minifigure. I know I'm very biased because Ahsoka Tano is my favorite character in all of Star Wars and one of my favorite characters in all of pop culture, anything related to anything TV show, movie related. Ahsoka Tano is just my favorite, so I guess I am a little biased with that. But this figure, I just had to put it at the top of my list because it is my personal favorite. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know your thoughts and your lists in the comments below because I'd love to hear them and read them. But I think that's going to do it for 2020, everyone. That's the last video of 2020. The year's over. I'm really excited to get some new LEGO sets in 2021, some new minifigures like the Mandalorian minifigure. Would have been on this list if that set came out a month earlier. So I'm really excited to get that set and stuff, and I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a great New Year's, and you also have a great time, and I'll see you all in 2021. Take care.